Oh, hi! Thanks for coming back. It's nice to see you all again. You know who it is. It's your favorite Uncle Urchin. And this week on Toy Talk, we've got some Valiant Era trading cards. The Valiant Era, a trading card history of the Valiant universe through 1992. 8 cards per deck, 120 card set, plus special random insert card featuring Light FX technology. That sounds pretty cool if you ask me. Perhaps you're not familiar with Valiant. Valiant was a comic book company from the 90s. They had a very good run while they lasted. They provided us books like Armories, Bloodshot, Geomancer, Guardian of Earth, Ninjak, Shadow Man. This happens to be just one of my favorite covers. Very cool. Solar, Man of the Atom. Got a few cool covers of this one. And definitely a character I'm sure most of you are familiar with. Turok Dinosaur Hunter. Very cool. Exo Manowar. All good stuff. They folded at some point in the 90s, I believe. Acclaim picked them up. Acclaim made the Turok Dinosaur Hunter game. They also did like the South Park game back in the day, and I'm sure some other stuff on the N64 that you may all remember. Well, recently, maybe within the past 5 years or so, Valiant had a resurgence, and they're up and running and doing well and bringing back all their old characters. So this will be a fun little time to look back over the years and open some decks of some trading cards. What do you say, guys? Are you ready? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Are you ready? Yeah, alright, let's get to it. Alright, let's bust open our first pack. Sometimes I have a hard time getting into card packs, but I'll just get right in there and see what's up. Looks like I've got a checklist here. They're all really kind of stuck together. You know, it's 2019, almost 2020, and they've been packed since probably at least 92, you know, so they've been in there a while. Alright, let's check them out. So, we have card 1. This is from Rai, perhaps, I might be butchering that name. This one is Eternal Warrior. So, some of these characters I'm less familiar with. Eternal Warrior, Rai, if that's how his name is pronounced. Hardcore. Another one I'm less familiar with. The art on these is all great. It's got that very 90s style, you know, and if you read any books from the 90s era, it's sort of self-explanatory. Yeah, this is from a book called Unity. They did a lot of the connected universe stuff, so another one from Rai. And I wonder if Rai is somehow related to Bloodshot. That is a good question, and one I don't know. So if any of you guys out there know, please let us know. Harbinger. Yeah, not so familiar with these ones. Let's bust open pack 2. Alright, what do we got? This one's probably Solar. That's a really cool, creepy creature. Yeah, Solar, Man of the Atom. Oh, another cool card. One of the things that was interesting about Valiant is that this is a Rai card, is that their color palette was a little different, and some of the independent books of that era do have a weird color palette. It had something to do with the expenses on inks and trying to produce them in color but also save on their budget. Actually, some of the colors on these cards are better than a lot of the colors in the books. More Eternal Warrior, September number 2. Ooh, this one's cool. Robot Fighter, Magnus, I betcha. And Turok crossing over. Yep, Magnus Robot Fighter, May number 12. Magnus is asked by Willow Talltree to come to the Lost Land where the settlement founded by her and Laszlo Knoll is under attack by savages. Magnus goes only to discover that the savage led by Turok are in the right. Throwing in with Turok, Magnus helps bring about the defeat of Knoll, who winds up trapped within a disabled robot dinosaur. Magnus and Turok part as friends, and then it's back to North Am. More expanded universe stuff. That's, you know, I've always appreciated that. Long before Marvel was doing, you know, the big expanded universe movies, you know, some of these smaller companies were definitely trying to acknowledge expanded universes. Archer and Armstrong, I don't even remember that book at all. Shadow Man, okay. Don't remember this particular look or this particular card. It's all good. Harbinger. Yeah. And what do we got here? More Shadow Man. Alright, cool. I'm waiting for some Turok cards, maybe some Ninjak cards. Those were definitely the books that I enjoyed most as a kid. Oh, it's black. It's a black card. June, number 10. It's Solar. Alright, Magnus maybe? Yeah, Magnus Robot Fighter. This one says July number 2. So I'm thinking each month is broken down into a set of numbers. Bloodshot. The Man. Alright? Recently, Bat in the Sun, which is a production company, they do short films. Bat in the Sun did a Ninjak versus the Valiant Universe, right? So Ninjak versus the Valiant Universe was very cool. Jason David Frank, who a lot of you may remember as Tommy Oliver, the Green and later the White Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, does a really awesome portrayal of Bloodshot. So, if you're not familiar with the Valiant Universe, but maybe do like short films, do like comic books, and do like David Jason Frank, pardon my stutter, then definitely check it out. Bat in the Sun has also provided us Superhero Beatdown, which is very entertaining and very cool. So check out that stuff. Shadow Man, that was another really cool book that I really liked as a kid. I think Shadow Man's deal is it's like maybe voodoo related. I think a lot of it takes place in New Orleans. Yeah, Solar, Magnus. I think we saw this one earlier. Unity. Yeah, we did see that card. Another checklist. And what are we on to? Our fourth pack. Very cool. It's a little less intense doing 10 packs as it was our spawn on packing, so this is nice. Less pressure. Though I wish they weren't all stuck together. What do we have here? I bet you these were those two I forgot about, Armstrong and Archer. Yeah, Archer and Armstrong, don't know those characters. Another, that cool Solar cardigan, really like that. Ooh, monsters, kaiju style. Morai, I really hope that's how his name's pronounced. Magnus Robot Fighter. In case you guys don't know what Magnus's deal is, he fights robots. It's sort of his thing. Morai, I think we saw that card already. This one's cool. More Shadow Man. And the saxophone has something to do with Shadow Man too. I don't know if it's when he plays the sax or what. It's been so long since I've read any of it. More Magnus Robot Fighter. Some cool, very Frank Miller. Yeah, it's a Frank Miller card, everyone. You guys might know Frank Miller. I mean, I'm sure if you're watching this, you probably do. Dark Knight Returns, Dark Knight Strikes Again, Dark Knight 3. He also did Sin City, Daredevil. Very, very prominent in the industry. Love his style. It's pretty unmistakable. And another Shadow Man. Shadow Man just always has those dark colors. The black and blues always look really cool together. Alright, moving along. Moving right along. You guys like the Muppets? I do. That's what that song's from. Some of you might recognize it. Archer and Armstrong. Yeah, we've seen this one. Archer and Armstrong. Oh, right back to back. That's a little bit hokey. More Magnus fighting a robot. For those of you who just think robot fighting is wicked cool, you'll like that book. Solar, Man of the Atom. I think you could probably figure his deal out. Back in the 90s, nuclear power and stuff was still a very prominent topic. And what do we got here? More Magnus. Yep, Magnus, he gets around. Fighting robots day to day. What do we got here? Yep, a little Rye team up. And some Solar, Man of the Atom. Yeah, their color palette's really cool. I enjoy it. What do we got here? Harbinger? No, more Archer and Armstrong. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know those characters. I don't even remember that book at all. So, Archer and Armstrong, I'm sorry that you weren't more prominent. Alright, Bloodshot. Yeah, look at this stuff. Just good, like, 90s action. No, this is Eternal Warrior. Eternal Warrior with Bloodshot. More Rye. Look at that color palette. Palette? Did you guys hear that? Sometimes I stutter. That's okay. I'm not self-conscious about it. More Solar. We saw this card earlier. Magnus with Rye. If that's how you pronounce his name. Harbinger. And please, if you are watching this video, please comment and correct me if I've been pronouncing his name wrong the whole time. This very much reminds me of Terminator, just with those grenades down the arm, kind of like the comics from around that time. This is another Eternal Warrior. More Magnus. That's a cool one. I really like that old school style on these robots. They look very 1940s. And Magnus just taking on more robots. Man, when it comes to robot fighting, nobody does it like Magnus. What do we got here? Archer and Armstrong. Man, I have no idea. I can see Turok in this. That's just another example of how they did a lot of the connected universe. Again, not familiar with these guys. Shadow Man. Always just cool. I just really liked Shadow Man. I always liked darker characters, which you heard me talk about in our Spawn unboxing. You know, just my connection to kind of darker themes. Yeah, good stuff. Exo, Manowar, Barbarian? That must have been some sort of event they were doing. This is just regular Exo Manowar. I don't know what the Barbarian brand is. Yeah, we saw this one earlier. Another Shadow Man. We saw this Archer and Armstrong. I think maybe it was the first one we saw. More Archer and Armstrong. Is that another Frank Miller? Yep, another Frank Miller card. This one definitely has that Sin City vibe to it. If it was black and white, you could easily mistake it as being from Sin City. Just another example of how prominent his style is. I also like how on these old 90s trading cards, it seemed like they had a lot of guest artists, which, you know, even if they didn't provide art for the book, it was still cool that they could get them to provide art for these cards. Eternal Warrior. And Boston, I'm open. Another one of these Harbinger with some Solar action. Archer and Armstrong. Have we seen this card yet? Yes, I believe we have. Oh, cool! Shadow Man. What is this? It's holographic. It's an FA. I don't know what that means, but it's labeled differently. He stood in the shadows. His features obscured. At last, in Shadow Man 10, Dark's distinctively tattooed visage was fully revealed. With Shadow Man, he held prisoner in his mansion. Dark offered Jack his heart's desire in exchange for swearing loyalty to him. But Shadow Man refuses and ended up battling one of Dark's zombies while the mansion burned down around them. Wow! What do you guys think? Intense? I think it's a pretty cool card, and I definitely remember him from one of the covers in here. Solar, Man of the Atom. Another robot fighter. I don't know what the deal with Magnus's suit is. It's a little funny. Look at these boots. He's got white high heel boots. I'm not sure if this is I think this is just his legs. And then he's got this funny little skirt thing. I don't really understand his outfit. I don't remember much about the comics. But that's Magnus for you. Always fighting robots. Oh, two of them are stuck. What do we got here? Harbinger. Oh! Two of the same. Oh! More Frank Miller artwork. That's really cool that they got him for this book. What else has Frank Miller done that I didn't mention earlier? He did 300. He directed the movie The Shadow. He's just awesome, basically. He's done work on The Punisher. He's done work on tons of stuff. His style is very unique, you know, and he's a great writer. I think he he did some writing on Spawn as well. There, we connected. Oh. Another holofoil. Oh. Let's stop for a second. Let's address the first card and then quickly move on. We've already seen this one. What do we got here? We got Joe Quesada. It's a Joe Quesada Exo Manowar. So Quesada is probably best known for a lot of his stuff on Marvel. Like, I'm thinking of Wolverine, like the Wolverine Origins covers from that run. But yeah, definitely a bigwig in the industry. Super awesome artwork. Man, I wish I got more of these holofoils. I feel a little bit shafted. Every pack should have one. Or at least something cool, right? At least I got two. Yeah, we've seen this one. Not as exciting. Yeah, we've seen this one. Not as exciting. Oh, this one's kind of cool. Another Rye. I don't know. It's just weird and cool. I love stuff that's a little bit wonky. And in my opinion, this character looks kind of wonky. I can't quite tell what they're going for, but it's cool in my opinion. Exo Manowar. More Eternal Warrior. Yeah, we've seen that card. And this is Solar. And yeah, alright. We're down to our last pack, friends. Are you guys bummed out? Yeah, me too. Alright. That's okay. Because there'll be more Toy Talks. This isn't the last time we'll see one another. What do we got here? Oh! Magnus fighting a robot. Look at him. He just chops him in half. He's strong. He's Magnus. Robot fighter. If you guys couldn't tell, I just think that name is really hilarious. I've always thought it was really hilarious. I've got the first issue of a 2-part Magnus Robot Fighter versus Predator crossover. But, you know, who doesn't think that sounds cool? More Archer and Armstrong. Again, I don't know who these freaking guys are. Hardcores. Solar. No, Unity. But we've seen that card already. Shadow Man, we've seen that card. And Magnus. Seen it. So yeah, that was fun. So here's a few of the highlights from what we've opened. Even though I kind of was joking about Magnus Robot Fighter and making fun of him, a lot of those cards are some of my favorites. A lot of old school dynamic posing, dynamic action. A lot of what you'll see here is based on the pose or the color palette. A lot of cool colors as well. And I really enjoy the Frank Miller art. It's cool seeing someone that you're used to as being, you know, an artist on the big two, if you will, getting to see him do other characters kind of outside of that realm. And of course, I love these two holofoils.